Hi, Stephen. Thanks again for joining us for another quick video where we try to answer questions about security and security monitoring. Today, we're going to answer a really important question, especially for Southern and Northern monitoring, because it is why bother with remote monitoring services at all when there are so many DIY solutions out there now. But before we get into that, would you please give a quick introduction to yourself for those that don't know?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Hi, everyone. My name's Stephen Nord. I'm the General Manager of Southern and Northern Monitoring. I have been with Southern and Northern for just over 2 years and in the industry just over 8.
Fantastic. So you recently wrote this article, Why Worry About Remote Monitoring? In a nutshell, can you specify what remote monitoring services actually are and what they include?
Yes, basically, remote monitoring service is having somebody else available to answer an alarm when you aren't available. And it sounds a little bit kind of trite, but actually, if you think of the amount of stuff that you get on your phone, do you want to be sifting what's the important stuff to what's potentially the life critical stuff, with a fire going off or a burglary at your place? We provide a secure infrastructure so that when those signals come in, they could be triaged, they could be prioritized, and they could be escalated, so you're not having to deal with everything yourself.
That makes sense, but I guess the key comeback to that, and it's one that you're certainly experts within your company will hear quite a lot, is there's so many solutions out there now for technology that are accessible for residential security, for business security, even for security installers to then provide to their customers. With all these options available, and you mentioned smartphones there, why would we really need to step up and invest in something like professional remote monitoring services?
Yeah, I think all that technology has been a real challenge and made the industry think a little bit differently in quite a lot of cases. And I think the one thing that everybody saw at the beginning of the pandemic was security suddenly became not just about buildings and property, but about people as well. And one of the things we hear from quite a lot of our clients is that they don't want to be sending key holders into dangerous situations. So where an alarm's going off, so if you got on your phone, you see the footage, you see somebody climbing in through the window, do you want to go and deal with that yourself at 3 o'clock in the morning? So we provide that infrastructure where, as long as there's a URN on the site, we can call the police direct, we can call out external key holders, we can call guarding companies, and most of all, we can find out what's going on and establish the level of threat. And I think that's a real key difference. We know that a lot of people don't want to send themselves, their family, or their staff into dangerous situations and want to know what's going on when an alarm comes through.
And certainly not at 3 o'clock in the morning, I imagine.
Yes, I mean, not everybody has their phone on that time. I've missed calls from the monitoring centre myself, and my alarm's gone off, and I've been asleep. So actually, it has to have something done about it to make an alarm effective in the first place. And being able to demonstrate those points to a customer are really quite key in getting across to them that you've understood their security issues and what problem you're trying to solve for them in the first place.
And you mentioned about there being, in the case of a real threat there, you mentioned some of the people, the various agencies and people that a monitoring centre could contact. Are there any added benefits in terms of response times or elements like that could also be benefited from a professional service as opposed to a DIY service?
Yes, if you're ringing 999, you go through to the local call centre and you have to try and describe what's going on. And you may not do a very good job of that if you're not a professional. In many areas of the country, alarms are transmitted electronically from the alarm receiving centre straight across the police control room. So there's not even any need for a phone call. If we send a message across saying there's a confirmed intruder alarm, then Echo themselves, who are the team who provide that communication mechanism between us and the police forces, they estimate that can save 4 minutes on a police call out, plus the fact that the call is coming through some confirmed technology through to an ARC means it gets a much higher priority than somebody calling 999 from a street corner.
So there is a definite benefit in terms of the actual response to a threat. What about with regards to false alarms? We know in the security industry that this can be a major nuisance to people, actually, so much so that they even, in some cases have chosen not to arm their alarms because they become such a nuisance. Is there a benefit in that regard? Can professional monitoring services help with that?
There is, and If it's a DIY system, anybody's free to stick up a load of sensors where they like, and yeah, they fall off. People walk past them when you forget to unset the alarm, and it's not built to any particular standard when you're installing it yourself. The key with professional monitoring is that quality goes all the way through the chain. So it has to be installed by an accredited installation company. It has to be maintained, and it all has to be up to standards before it's allowed to even signal through to an ARC. And then when the signal comes through, because of the experience that we've got, we use the technology on the alarm panel to establish the difference, for example, between an unconfirmed intruder alarm and a confirmed intruder alarm. We can call site first to check if there's something going on before we call the police. There's all sorts of options available. And it all points to the benefits of using accredited security professionals all the way through the chain, rather than trying to save a few quid and stick up something basic and hope for the best.
So there's two key benefits that you've mentioned there already. Is there anything else in terms of maybe other security systems where professional security services can help? I'm thinking about things like access control, for example.
Yeah, there's a great deal of linkage available now using the technology. So, for example, we look after some sites where deliveries will come to a gate in the middle of the night. We'll use the CCTV system to talk to the delivery driver, make a decision as to let them in or not, let them in, and then kind of effectively watch them around the site and make sure they leave again afterwards. So all of that technology, as long as there's an internet connection, basically you can link access control, you can make announcements over CCTV systems. There's a whole range of things that are possible, all starting with a professionally installed intruder or CCTV system that can then be expanded.
And if people did want to start there, understanding that the sky is really the limit in terms of how complex you make your security system and try to bring everything under one roof, but just as a starting off point, how could I'm thinking of businesses or even security installers themselves looking to bring customers across, how could they get connected, and how easy would it be for them to get connected?
Yeah, it's really simple. Yeah, a basic alarm system can be relatively cost effective. The communication technology is well established. If you're a business, talk to your trusted security professional and describe what your problems are. And it's their job then to propose the solutions that are there for you. If you're a security installer, then the key really is to making sure you have that relationship with your clients to really understand what the problems are. And then there's a whole range of technology. We can help with advice if needs be, because we have a wide range of experience in intruder, in fire, in CCTV, in access control.
So just ask us a question today.
Absolutely, we're here to help.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for your time, Stephen.
Thank you.